starting to get wet.
You can just feel the truck just sucking down in the surface of the road, just pulling. Just start to wonder what the rest of the road will be like further up.
The Barkly Tablelands, one of the loneliest places on Earth. Half the size of Texas, with barely 6,000 people. But this empty landscape in the Northern Territory isn't empty of life. This is cattle country, with big hats, big herds, and the biggest cattle stations in Australia. People like Anthony and Danielle Haig make this multi-million-dollar industry possible, tapping its most vital resource from deep underground: water.
Gotta be happy with that.
The Murringi water drillers bring life to the driest corners of the outback.
I love it. Yeah, just love it.
For country boy Anthony, it's a dream job.
No one can annoy you, no phones, no TV, it's great.
For city girl Danielle, more of a challenge.
It can be tough at times. No phone service, no internet, no socialising whatsoever.
This unlikely married couple prove that opposites can attract. But there's one subject they don't agree on.
Dust.
Yeah, that is one big thing.
She hates the dust in the kitchen and that.
Dirty.
As dirty jobs go, drilling for water is right up there. For offsider Wayne, it's all in a day's work.
It's a bit of a phone party happening at the moment.
For son Heath, all in a day's play.
He loves this life. This is a good life for a 2-year-old.
Yeah. You got to watch where you're going, mate.
There'll be plenty more mud and dust on this next urgent job.
They've got a collapse bore and they're trying to water a lot of stock off it. Try and drop tools and get there as quick as we can for them, keep them going.
From Elliot, the drillers will head east to replace a collapsed well at Walhollow Station. Then on to another job at Wollongorang Station. Time to make this monster roadshow rattle. Spread between 2 prime movers, 7 trailers worth of drill rig equipment, fuel tanks, water tanks, and 3 shipping containers converted to living quarters, and 1 ute. First test for the convoy, the notorious dirt of the Barkly stock route.
Normally down the middle is pretty rough on this road.
With its ever-present cattle.
A few little calves running around up here, mate.
The threat of a collision and the thick dust is forcing the convoy to spread out. Danielle is at the back, and she has a domestic crisis.
I am sick. Okay, hold on. Anthony, I'm a sick baby.
Dad Anthony is over 3 kilometres away and out of radio contact. Hopefully Wayne can get the message through.
He's trying to stop because he's sick.
Yeah, right, yeah, no worries. Yeah, can you hear me, Anthony? Yeah, you got a copy there, Anthony? I can't get a hold of you yet, Danielle.
Hold on. Just upset belly, I think. I hope anyway, there's no doctors out here.
Danielle has few options. Up here, the nearest doctor is 500 kilometres away. In Perth, Steve Graham is looking to fill a vital position in his trucking business. The role of canine co-pilot. Teeny, Steve's loyal truck dog, passed away 6 months ago. Finding another like her hasn't been easy.
My dogs have got to be partly farm dogs and partly truck dogs. They've got to be patient. They've got to be good in the truck and got to be good all round.
But now, a rookie is trying out for the job.
This is Bella. Belle's a new member of the team, and she's got a bit to learn yet. We'll see how she goes. Belle.
Bella and Steve have a big journey lined up. They need to cart over 100 tonnes of cement and construction materials to Central Australia.
We've got to get this load to Alice Springs urgently because they've got people coming back to work next Monday. They haven't got stuff to do without me getting the stuff there, and it needs to go now.
But conditions up ahead have Steve worried.
This Docker River Road, it's closed indefinitely, and I can see why. I don't know when this is going to open. There is no road. It's been washed away.
Unseasonal rain has turned Steve's normal route to mush, forcing him to take a much longer detour.
The only option is to go across the bottom or right around the top, and across the bottom is the cheapest option for my customers, and it's the least rained on option.
For Steve, that means swapping the solitude of the Great Central Road.
That's where I'm used to being, out there by myself, wandering along doing my own thing.
For the crowds of Highway 1.
I don't want to be down on the Nullarbor mixed up with everyone. It's right out of my comfort zone. I'm hating this.
From Perth, Steve will take an exhausting 3,600 kilometre dogleg east to Port Augusta, then north to Alice Springs. It's over 1,000 kilometres further than his usual run, on a different road with different rules.
I can't tow a 53-metre road train across the Nullarbor. It's got to be dropped back to 36.5.
On Highway 1, trucks can only tow 2 trailers.
So I've got to hire a contractor to tow my third trailer across there.
1/3 of the job is depending on this driver. And he's gone missing.
He's not returning my calls this morning. Has the bloke pulled out of the job? You know, I don't know.
It's a bad start to a tough journey.
Just a bloody nuisance at the least, and at the worst, it's a nightmare.
Watch that truck.
In Sydney, amateur drag racing mates Shannon Walsh, Shane Olive and Fred Westhoff are preparing for the ultimate boys' trip.
We're up for anything.
A cross-country convoy, followed by an adrenaline-fueled weekend.
We spend 4 days in a truck to get to, Perth racetrack, and to pull the race car out and have 3 5-second passes and then drive 4 days home again. It's, people probably think we've got rocks in our heads, but it's worth every bit of it.
Yeah, you drive the truck the slowest animal to get there and then drive the fastest animal once you get there.
Shane and Fred compete in the national circuit for outlaw nitro funny cars.
Basically, they're called funny car because they look funny.
Shannon's one of the pit crew and the only full-time trucker.
For me, it's about the truck. I love the trucks. I'm all about the trucks, and I'm here to help the boys do whatever they can with the cars.
These 3 friends are gearing up for the most grueling race meet of the year. Just getting to the start line is a 4,000-kilometre slog. From Sydney, they'll drive 3 truckloads of cars and equipment across the entire continent for a drag racing competition in Perth. For Fred, a fitter and turner, and Shane, a workshop manager, the trucking journey will be a big challenge.
Oh, we're weekend warriors, mate. Yeah, we don't do it for a living, we do it so that we can get the cars to the racetrack so we can go and have a good time, basically.
First task, load the cars.
Probably wouldn't trust anybody else to pack these cars in.
The boys are packing 9 of the 12 nitro cars that'll be racing.
A lot of crews coming over, drivers to drive them. people to come and see them, so we don't want to damage them.
At $150,000 each, this needs to be done right.
There's a lot at stake. Keep coming. Well, very crucial these cars are tied in properly. We can't afford to have them damaged.
Last car going in now and then head off for the big trip.
Okay, that one's tight. My one, boys, how you going?
First hurdle cleared. Next, the long drive ahead. And for Shane, this one is special.
This trip I'll have my daughter with me, so make for a good father-daughter weekend.
Hopefully Dad can put up with a 17-year-old girl for 14 days. 4 days, not 14, but it's going to feel like 14.
Brittany wants to follow in her father's footsteps and jump in a race car one day.
Drivers, start your engines. A pressure-packed journey lies ahead.
I love the smell of diesel in the morning.
Inside these trucks, nearly all of the nitro funny cars competing in Australia.
We've got 4 days to get there, so we don't want any mishaps along the way that could put us behind.
Without these race cars, there'll be no race.
Wayne, did you hear me? Can you tell Anthony that I'm pulled over?
Over 2,000 kilometres north, Danielle has been left behind by her own convoy, heading to a station to fix a collapsed well. 2-year-old Heath hasn't coped with the rough road.
He's car sick, but he's good now. He had a big shock.
To find husband Anthony, Danielle will have to fly solo from here. At least there's only one road to follow. By nightfall, the family is together again.
You haven't been car sick for a while.
We're okay now. We can get down and run around.
Next day, the water drillers arrive at Walhollow Station.
Set up, get into it.
There's no time to waste. This property, the size of Lebanon, depends on underground water or bore water to keep its 50,000 cattle alive. Replacing the collapsed borehole is critical.
Yeah, if we can't get in and drill the bore, then yeah, cattle will sort of have to be moved to another paddock, or it could even be worse.
Time to drill some dirt.
Gets a bit noisy.
With the collapsed well just a few metres away, the drillers know that water is down there. They just don't know how deep. After 5 hours and 110 metres, they find what they're looking for.
Struck water, so we're pulling the rods out, and then we'll start casing it.
Lining the hole with steel casing is time-consuming work. Each 4-metre length needs to be welded onto the piece below it, then rammed into the ground. But less than halfway down, the casing is refusing to go a centimetre further.
We're sort of stuck on a little bit of a ledge or something there. Got to try and hammer it down now and see how it goes.
It's not budging. There's no other choice but to undo half a day's work.
Probably pull it all out and run the hammer back down and try and clean the hole again and
That means pulling all of the casing back out, cutting through all of the welds, and drilling the hole again. Down. This is where they got stuck before. And they're stuck again.
It's not working. It's not going down. Dad's gonna get cranky.
8 hours of back-breaking work for nothing. Anthony's patience is running dry.
I'm gonna pack up and go home. I'm gonna the job, Danielle.
With hard-earned reputations and a station's livelihood at stake, the only way forward is down. Steve Graham is running out of time to find a driver for his third trailer of building supplies.
Hello? Yes, I've got a trailer that needs towing back there.
We can accommodate, mate.
Mate, you're the greatest thing since sliced bread. Good to talk to you, Rod. Thank you.
No worries, mate.
We'll have that sorted for the morning. See you. That is a total relief.
Steve's schedule and Bella's maiden run are out of the doghouse. The plan, meet up with his third trailer in Port Augusta over 2,000 kilometres away. Then run all 3 trailers to Alice Springs.
I won't be able to relax till I catch up with my own trailer or it passes me, but it's that frustrating level of uncertainty.
But now more frustration for Steve and his worker Dave.
Holding the tyre, so a couple plugs into the air station.
With time slipping away, Steve's counting on a stopgap repair. A rubber-coated cord which expands under pressure.
Gotcha.
Plugged and ready to go.
Thanks, Davey.
Well, almost.
Come on, doggy. New dog doesn't know how to get in. 2 feet.
This new dog
2 feet, doggy.
has a few old tricks to learn.
Up you get. You climb the rest of the way, dog. Good girl. Right, girl, we'll go then. You want to get going? We'll go.
After all the delays, it's a relief to get onto the open road.
I can't believe I'm actually moving.
But only 2 hours in, Steve spots trouble.
Better pull up and have a look. I reckon I've got smoke coming off the tyre back there. Yep, that's a tyre breaking up. Bugger it. Got to find somewhere safe to get off the road.
It's the punctured tyre he just repaired. But no amount of rubber plugs will fix this. The Nitro Car Convoy has hit Outback South Australia on its cross-country marathon to Perth. On board, more than $1 million worth of high-performance racing cars and equipment. Fred's car, the Sheriff, is a crowd favourite.
I'm driving one of the wheel standers. So basically, it wheel stands for the whole 400 metres of the racetrack.
Shane drives the Red Devil.
When you leave the start line, you're going from a standing start to 200 kilometres an hour and like that. It's a lot to take in 5 seconds.
I quite often get a few raised eyebrows at school. I'll say, oh yeah, Dad's a drag racer, and they're like, what?
On race day, Brittany is part of the pit crew.
I help Dad with his parachutes, help change the fuel and oil, and change the spark plugs for each run.
Shannon also helps out trackside. He's just glad he's not in the driver's seat.
Basically, they are an atomic bomb on wheels. and these guys get in and drive them.
But right now, it's the highway that's proving a handful.
We're on a little bit of rough road here, so just keeping a good grip on that wheel.
It's getting pretty bumpy now. Definitely got fragile freight on board, that's for sure.
In the back of these trucks, not only Shane's and Fred's cars, but the cars of 7 other drivers as well. Shake loose, and it'll be one expensive drive.
We definitely don't want anything to happen to them, so once we get out the other end of the rough stuff, we'll pull up and have another look in the back.
From the bottom to the top of Australia, the water drillers are still trying to fix a stubbornly blocked bore.
Just widening the hole out to sort of give us more room for the casing to go down.
They've been at it for 2 frustrating days, drilling the same hole 3 times, only stopping to sleep and eat.
So we'll have a feed and run the casing back down, and hopefully we'll be right this time. Scrub them around the back.
If it doesn't work this time, few options are left. "40 metres, the problem depth. The casing keeps going.
All good so far. Just make sure it is definitely on the bottom. Then we'll run our test rods down, see what sort of water it's putting out.
Sweet water, and plenty of it.
Yeah, it's not a bad sort of a flow for this area, so yeah, should be right to pack up. Then to the next job.
Next job, Wollongong Station. Anthony, Danielle and Wayne are now heading out of the empty plains of the Barkly Tablelands into more wooded, hilly country.
Yeah, conditions have changed like real quick, so we've gone from a lot of flat country straight into all these hills.
90 tonnes of gear to drag up.
Turned up the drive and a fair bit for us, so...
Keeping speed and traction on these hills isn't easy. With 4 trailers, Anthony's truck is struggling.
Don't get in trouble on this hill, I think.
East of Perth, Steve's trek into unfamiliar territory is off to a bad start.
I think at my age I know better than to leave home with a mongrel tyre on the thing.
He's blown $300 on a blown tyre, forcing him to change what's left in the dark. And this blowout could cause more headaches down the track.
I'm only 200k out. I'm down a spare.
An hour of grunt work later, and Steve can finally clock off.
I'm only 7k's out of town. I'm going in there, have a shower and have tea and go to bed.
A new day, and Steve's still got his hands full.
In the back, girl. In the back. In the back. In the back. Good girl.
But up ahead, there could be more serious hassles.
That horizon is starting to look a little bit ominous right now. I believe that I am driving into a thunderstorm here, and I think we've got a good chance of getting wet very shortly. That's rain, boy. That's heavy rain. These storms, their onset's really sudden. It's immediate. You know, you're driving along, you just hit a wall of water and wind.
As the rain backs off, another hazard puts Steve on high alert. Water on the side of the road is drawing dozens of thirsty kangaroos.
Don't run back, you idiot.
Missed it. Or has he? The tyre inflation indicator says otherwise.
It's like there's a main airline come off the central tyre inflation. Or there's a big hole in the tyre somewhere. There's always something going on, isn't there? All right, I'll see what's going on. Might have been a kangaroo, might have been something on the road.
In South Australia, on a rough stretch of road, the drag racing boys have stopped to check their $1 million load.
Bit of a bumpy ride, so it's always good to check these things and make sure all the straps are still nice and tight. Nothing's moved around.
At $150,000 a car, any damage to this load will be an expensive fix.
It's all good. Everything's in one piece. Nothing's moved, everything's still tied in nice and tight. Good to go for another couple hundred Ks. Okay, boys, only the Nullarbor to go.
The Nullarbor Plain is 1,000 kilometres across and the largest piece of limestone in the world. Today, this massive slab of rock is windy.
35k/h wind blowing on the side of the trailer, trying to push us off the road, basically.
Keeping the 4-metre-high trucks on the road is a hair-raising drive. And as they reach the coastline known as the Great Australian Bight, Shannon's in for his own hair-raising experience.
We're going to call it the Great Australian Cut.
He's making good on a promise to his wife.
Are you sure? Are you sure? Look, he's about to cry. You actually look 5 years older.
A little lighter, the drag racing convoy keeps pushing west.
3 states down and, yeah, 1 more to go.
The home stretch.
After nearly 4,000 kilometres of hot, windy and bumpy road, they can smell the finish line. Just 400 metres of tarmac remains.
Mate, this is it all the way across the country, so this is what it's all about.
There's no time to rest. The cars need to be unloaded, fueled.
There's lots of horsepower in the fuel.
And fired up.
Fredo's going to take the Sheriff out for a spin and have a little bit of a practice run this morning.
Fred's keen to use this practice run to test the conditions. It's far from the run Fred was hoping for.
Got a fairly strong crosswind coming off the beach, which plays havoc with such a large surface area on the side of the car. So as the car goes up, basically it's like a billboard trying to get blown over. So if it gets any worse, managers will make a call on it, and you know, if it's too windy and becomes too dangerous, you can't risk anyone's safety.
Cancel the race, and a 4,000-kilometre slog will have been for nothing. In the top end of Australia, Anthony has met his match.
Don't you get stuck as well?
His 4-trailer road train is stuck on a steep hill. His only chance for traction is a shove from offside Wayne.
You right, Wayne?
Yeah, mate, whenever you're ready, eh?
Rightio.
This mega road train is now over 100 metres long and weighs almost 200 tonnes.
Yep, all good.
Wayne will need all his 600 horsepower to push it up the hill.
You're a bit more ready.
Yep, no worries. Yeah, all good now, Anthony, mate.
Going to be a truck driver? Yeah. Watch the track. We going right?
The convoy has made it to Wollongong Station, but the drill site is still 2 kilometres away, down a narrow bush track.
A little bit tight in there. We're just going to drop one trailer off down here and just grab our little testing trailer. We're going to hook it on behind the ute.
To make it, Anthony needs to shorten his road train from a quad to a triple. His 4th trailer
Straight back.
will be pulled by Danielle in the ute.
Forward a touch.
We've got about 1.9 k's to go in here, but we've got a couple of sharp little bends to get round.
Getting through this windy bush track will take some precision driving.
Just tell me how we're going up that tree back there, Danielle.
Yeah, you're going to miss them so far.
But it's not the trees they should be worried about.
I'm bogging down.
It's the soft sand and the ute.
Oh. Yeah, no, I'm stuck.
Are you stuck or not?
Yeah.
From the top of the country to the bottom, and Steve Graham is dealing with more tyre troubles.
You can see where something's hit the tyre. Might have been a kangaroo, might have been something on the road. You can see where it's gone on there and pulled that.
A collision has caused an air hose to come loose.
I'll just clamp that hose. Probably a kangaroo, one of those poor little kangaroos. That'll pump itself up now.
Steve's avoided chewing up another tyre. But behind his back, there's been more chewing going on.
This dog has just eaten $187 worth of hat. I'm not impressed. I've got to buy another hat in Alice Springs now.
Back on the road, Steve's not in the mood for company.
Erratic drivers are frustrating. They're going slower than you, that's why you catch up to them. But then when you catch up to them, they want to go faster than you. They are very, very, very frustrating. There's only one thing to do with a bloke like this, and that's pass him. I don't think he realise this old girl's got a bit in it when I want to give it to her. At least on the inland road, when you get tourists, there's that much dust and stuff around, they get the heck out of your way when they see you coming.
After a frustrating day on the highway, Steve's ready for some empty road. But up ahead, a breakdown blocking his lane.
Just back off a bit where you're westbound.
As he eases past, the last thing he wanted to see.
That's my f***ing truck. That's my load.
It's his third trailer. Steve's long detour to Alice Springs is fast becoming the nightmare he predicted. At a racetrack in Perth, a strong sea breeze is putting the wind up the nitro funny car races.
Always a bit of a concern if it's a crosswind.
After spending 4 days just getting to the start line, dangerous winds could cancel this race before it's even run.
Everybody in, come right in, guys.
Word from the officials.
Yes. We go with the wheel standers and then we run through, okay?
It's on. 3 rounds of racing, 12 nitro burners, 10,000 spectators. First up, the wheel standers. In the Sheriff, it's Fred's chance to lay down the law. It's a win. Now for the main event, the Nitro Funny Cars. Flat out. Race 1. Shane's up in the Red Devil. He takes it out. 400 metres in 5.6 seconds. Shane's into the next round. But back in the pits, things are far from jubilant.
Something's come off on the front of the engine there, so I won't know until we get it apart what it is. So.
The pit crew have just 45 minutes to get him going. It's a problem with the supercharger.
The bolts come loose and it's wedged against this and seized the oiler pulley, and it's broken all the bearings inside. Now we have to put a new supercharger belt and get a new one of these.
His next race is at stake. Five minutes to go. The Red Devil is ready. Time to burn some rubber. .400 kilometres per hour. Not enough for Shane to win. But for this high-octane petrol head...
Well worth the trip over, well worth the 4,000 Ks.
The fun's all in the ride.
The only bad thing is we've got to drive 4,000 Ks back home.
See you next time.
Yeah, no, I'm stuck.
On Wollongong Station, Danielle has struck soft sand.
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
It's very sandy there, so we just sunk.
Hopefully a 90-tonne nudge from Wayne's truck will get the ute moving.
And now Wayne's got to try and push me out. Daddy's going to get us out.
All right, go, Wayne.
Out of one bog.
You're right, are you?
Yeah, you're good there, mate.
But with more deep sand ahead and fading light,
not going to get in here tonight.
Anthony decides to call it a day.
Instead of trying to struggle through and getting proper bogged, we'll have a camp now and a couple of beers.
Next day, and the team have made it to the drill site. But the exact location of the hole is still being decided.
And how do you measure the depth?
I reckon each bounce is a foot.
Water divining has been practiced in the Australian bush for centuries. Science has few answers for how it works.
Yeah, some people won't work for.
But in the right hands, these bent wires have been known to lead people to water.
Anthony's got the power. I just cleared a little bit over there, took the grass off where we'll put it.
Oh, yeah. Water there?
Oh, I hope so.
Time to test out the theory. It looks like Anthony might be onto something.
Just the water in the bore down the bottom there.
We drilled 54 metres and we're just started running the casing now.
Half the distance down from the last job. No obstacles blocking the bore. Just megalitres of cool, fresh water.
Lovely.
A muddy puddle never felt so good. Outback Trucking team, Nick and Joe.
Here we go. Back into it again.
Married to the road.
What other drama are we going to have?
Married to the job.
There'll be rain today for sure. We just got to get through before it hits.
Married to each other.
Did well.
Not even a domestic.
Tackling the roughest of the rough.
A bloody narrow-gutted mongrel road.
Toughing it out together.
It's been about a 10-hour day today and we've made it about 25 kilometres.
Through the good times.
Not too many other women that do it anyway, I wouldn't think.
And the bad.
Disgusting.
Pretty rough on the gear, but, you know, someone's got to do it, I suppose.
We take jobs like this because other people don't always take them.
Nick and Joe's trucking is as tough as it gets. Supplying remote communities at the top end of Western Australia. On a road too bad to travel on for half the year. The route others dread to tread. More than 500 kilometres from their base at Kununurra to the isolated settlements of Columbaroo and Honeymoon Bay. The tropical wet season is looming. For Nick and Joe, they have a critical decision to make. Should they risk one last supply run before the rain hits and the road becomes a river?
Come on, old girl.
Cutting off some of the loneliest places on the planet for months.
Wet. It's really, really wet.
Get it right, and they're outback heroes.
Every time we need anything, they just go, yep, we're coming up soon, all right.
Get it wrong, and they could lose their business they've sweated for 7 years to establish.
Might have to do a bit of shoveling on this one here, I think.
In Kununurra, it's all hands on deck in Nick and Joe's loading yard.
Yep.
Handling last-minute requests to get on the final supply run of the year.
People have just been chucking things at the last minute this time and last trip.
We seem to have ended up with 2 full loads.
People are scrambling to get their orders on. Big and small.
They said it was a big tractor.
A tractor.
And then rock up with this.
A diesel tank. A fridge. Even a garden rake.
This is an unusual rake.
We do get some bloody snotty loads. Bits and pieces of bloody everything.
But for Nick and Joe, the biggest incentive to risk this trip is to help this couple.
They bend over backwards to give us a hand, which is quite priceless up here.
Les and Joy Davey run the camping ground at Honeymoon Bay. A dot in the wilderness. Tropical paradise. But not when you're expecting your 3rd child in the stifling, humid heat of summer and the generator that powers your air conditioner isn't working.
At the moment, we've got to go from solar to generator and power back up and then back on a solar.
500 kilometres away, Nick and Joe are loading up the new generator that will bring Joy and her family relief.
I'm going to be stuck with it.
If it arrives.
It's predicting rain. It's not saying how much bloody rain, but it is around, buddy. It's hot enough to rain. Too bloody hot, I reckon, to be working.
On the road Nick and Joe have to travel, there's already been heavy rain. Trucks have been bogged and rivers are rising. They need to get moving soon.
They've got a short amount of time. If they don't leave, they may get stuck here for the rest of the wet.
Final weather checks.
Do you know if they had any rain up Lumbaroo Way?
Demanding customers.
You can't just add another pallet, you know, unless you kind of know about it the day before and we know where stuff's going.
They have to go, and go now. "3,000 kilometres south. Yogi is back on the road.
This job, I love every second of it.
Behind the wheel of his truck, PJ. Earning $1.
Yeah, go, yeah.
Carting a load.
Yeah, nice one.
Missing his family. On a short trip, 3 hours to Perth from his home base of Katanning, Yogi has a big weight on his mind.
Today is the day of checkups. Today we've got to get 100,000 major service done on the truck, and I'm going to get a medical. Every 3 years as a driver in Western Australia, you need a current medical to drive trucks.
A serious defect in man or machine, and Yogi will be off the road.
If I don't pass my medical, I can't run my business. So it's a really awkward scenario. Like, I know the truck is good, but they might find a crack in something. I don't know, so I can't really book anything in until they give me a bit of an indication that the truck's going to be okay. So I need to be right. The truck needs to be right. If they find something else wrong, you know, that'll make me a bit jumpy, and then I've got to go and have a medical, and then you're sort of getting real jumpy. So the rest of the week does hinge on what they do find today. If they find something wrong today, it'll be a bit of a hold-up.
An expensive day, even if they don't diagnose a major fault.
Oh, I suppose it'll be a couple of grand today. See you, boys.
While Yogi leaves PJ with the mechanics, he heads off for his own service.
It's actually quite a lot of pressure today. Like, I might be a little bit jovial about it and kind of thinking, oh, yeah, it's a medical, but it is actually quite full on. If I don't get the medical, I don't get the accreditation.
It is a little bit hard.
Yeah.
Are you a bit nervous?
Yep.
Yeah, so I'd say that's why it is. The doctor will take it again because it is a little bit high.
Yeah.
Just cover one eye like me and read me the smallest line you can see.
HNTPUZUZA.
And on the scales.
It's not just the medical making Yogi nervous. A recent brush with the law has him really worried.
10 days ago, I got an infringement. The fine at one stage was around about $120,000.
Yogi was pulled over by transport inspectors, accusing him of cutting a rest break short by 6 minutes.
So they've deemed that I've started my driving time when I was technically on a break. So, which I believe I didn't, and they slugged me with a $10,000 fine. And then on that particular fine, it was because I own the company, it's 5 times to the company, so it's $60,000.
Yogi's fighting the fine. It's either that or go broke.
So that 60 grand wipes me out. See you later, I'm done. Sell the truck, pay off my debts, walk away from the industry. My lips have been dry all week. I've been sleeping well. You know, it's just that mental strain. I mean, like, it's been playing on my mind so much, I don't know what to do.
4,000 kilometres away in central North Queensland. Vast, baked and drought-ravaged.
There's areas of northern Queensland that haven't seen rain for 7 years.
Cattle stations are at crisis point.
We're nearly out of hay. We haven't got too much left to keep rationing.
Station owner Mary Viney is down to her last hay stocks.
It's really hard out here. You just got to try and keep looking on the positive side and keep working and praying for rain.
"2,000 kilometres to the south in Victoria, nature's been kinder. Good Samaritan truckie Craig Porter is gearing up for a mercy dash.
We need to keep those farmers out there alive.
He and his 9-year-old son Dakota are planning an epic drive.
3,000 k's out and 3,000 back.
From Craig's property southeast of Melbourne up through 2 states, deep into northern Queensland, to deliver 2 trailer loads of hay and oats into the drought areas.
On this job, we can't afford to have any breakdowns. It's a charity situation, so everything that's being paid for comes out of my pocket.
Baked beans, spaghetti.
To get ready, it's a family affair.
Did you still want me to make all those sausage rolls?
On this job, there is no stopping at shops, there's no stopping at anything. We bought all our food. My wife Rachel's cooked the whole heap for us, and I also cook on the roadside. I think that's it food-wise, thank you.
Okay.
Dakota, can you give me one of those buckets, please?
Dakota is homeschooled, but he learns just as much when he's out on the road with his dad.
Dakota comes on these ones, these are the special ones. He spends a lot of time in the truck with me.
Is there water that comes out of that pipe?
Yep, that's what keeps the truck cool, mate.
I can help him, if the truck breaks down, I can help him fix it.
Yeah, you can't replace it, cheap labour. He's very good, he's learning real quickly.
Well, every day that we wait for the truck to come along, it causes us more stress. You haven't got too much left and you start feeling a bit desperate.
These people are desperate for their hay, so from now till Christmas I just won't stop. I'll just keep going.
4 a.m, an early start.
It's time to get up.
To beat the city traffic jams.
You don't move, you just sit in the gridlock. Been up to 5 hours to get through.
Teeming rain is also going to slow them down, but not as much as this.
Wow, there we go. Bang, straight up, problem. I've flattened my battery.
Bloody weather's not looking good.
At the top of Western Australia,
basically going now, so no turning back.
Nick and Joe's last road train of the season is heading into trouble.
Point of no return now. Here goes bloody nothing.
It's dry where they are.
You feel the bloody heat coming off that foam windscreen.
But up ahead, early season thunderstorms are wreaking havoc.
Weather's great in Connemara, and 300k away, on the black soil at Zeta, it's a complete mess.
You got that one bog roll before the cast, and it's bloody near impossible at the moment. That other truck got stuck in it yesterday. It took 2 graders to move it.
Pretty well know, almost 100% that we're going to get bogged because everyone else in the last week got the bog. Why would it be any different that we should get through when everyone else can't?
Well, from 20k this side from the cast, it sounds from all the way to Columbaroo, there's a few big bog holes. They've had a fair bit of rain up there. So yeah, that'll be interesting to see how they are, because they can get big, deep bloody holes. And the water just lays in there and you can't get around them either.
They're hauling 3 trailers, with what could be the last supplies for communities for 6 months, including a generator for a family whose property has lost its power.
If we don't get them their generator, that family could have no power till next May. I mean, how would you like to raise a family in the bush, with several kids and a pregnant missus and have no power for your fridge or your freezer or, a fan or anything? for the next 6 months.
They were late leaving,
But yeah, so we're sort of running a half a day behind now.
forcing them to consider a night crossing of the biggest and most dangerous river on their journey.
Croc-infested river.
Not a place to break down and have to get out of the cabin. Or for a flash flood.
Can come up overnight. We'll pull up on the other side of here. Check, make sure we've got no rocks in the bloody fuels.
Safely across, but still on the riverbank where crocs can lie. Joe now has the job of checking to see no river rocks are wedged between the tyres.
Get one stuck between the jaws, then we'll have a flat tyre or two within half an hour, so we can do without that tonight.
Wow, there we go. Bang, straight up, problem.
Back in Victoria, Good Samaritan trucker Craig and son Dakota are having a bad early morning.
I'll flatten me battery.
A disastrous start to a nearly 3,000-kilometre mercy mission to help drought-ravaged farmers.
I had to do this once or twice before, but didn't think it'd be this morning. It's gonna be a long day. Just give it a try and see how we go, eh? She might fire up for us. That's what I want to hear. Another job underway, put the dogs away, grab the guard dog and we're out of here.
Get him. Hey, big dog.
Now the race is on to beat city traffic.
Flat batteries cost us a bit of time here into the traffic. Not much fun now. We've got a couple of hours to get through this. This isn't good. This is not good. Sit back and relax and just enjoy the car park. Pouring down with rain, and we're going to somewhere that hasn't had rain for 7 years.
Finally, through the worst of it.
Yeah, no, I reckon we'll be right. We'll be loading hopefully within the hour.
Craig's picking up 82 bales of hay, weighing in at 44 tonnes. Donated by farmer Chris Davey.
All good, nice early morning for you.
Oh, so you're in?
In.
As the bales get higher, Craig realises he's creating a problem.
18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. You can't go over 4.3, and the top bales make you go over 4.3.
His load could be too high for road regulations.
I'd be devastated if we can't get that extra load on.
With the lives of drought-starved cattle depending on him, it's not as simple as just offloading the offending bales.
Those guys up there are busting for the load to come in, but at the end of the day, if you can't do it, you can't do it. Authorities say where you can go. One bale means a lot, you know, and to drop 15 squares off is a big thing.
No news is good news. Hello? Hey, bud, how are ya? All right. Just, just a bit of a check-in.
Yogi's truck PJ's in the workshop.
See how the big truck's going. Obviously, no news is...
Getting there, mate.
And he's sweating on the results of a medical that will tell him whether he can keep driving.
It is stressing me out. If I fail today, I have to have a medical every 12 months because of the pressure I was put under last week.
The added pressure comes from a huge fine for an alleged logbook oversight.
I'm staring down the barrel of a potential of $60,000 on an infringement.
Now he's questioning his future.
And I am scared. I've been through all the emotions in the last week. I've been high and I've been low. You know, like it's a roller coaster ride, truck driving, and I've been through them all in the last week. It went really well. Like I'm very relaxed actually now. That went really well.
Next stop, the mechanic's yard.
Morning, lads.
For PJ's checkup.
What's going on today?
Yogi needs another win here so he can get back to work.
Chuck's all right?
Yeah. Have you spoken? Did he ring you last night?
No. I did speak to him about 2, 3 o'clock. And he said it should be right, so, but I never spoke to him anything after that, but...
All right, well, we go see Zach,
yeah.
mate.
Yeah, right.
To Yogi's relief,
Yeah, what a day, man, what a day.
PJ has a clean bill of health.
Yeah, they're telling me the brakes are 70%, 30% worn. You know, a bit of an oil leak in the back of the sump. It's only a weep, otherwise they would have fixed it. Let's go to work. We've got a good job today. We're in front now. It's not very often we actually get in front.
Yogi's first job is to pick up a giant tractor bin 130 kilometres away. He wants this job to go well. Tonight his son's playing sport and he wants to be there.
He's right into basketball, so it's good. I'm wrapped. Go make some money. Today is a good day. He's got a game on tonight, I'd say about 5:30, 6 o'clock. So my main focus is get it loaded, get unloaded, and then get home today. It'll be nice to go to his basketball game today. I'll be pretty stoked if we get in there tonight. Well, I've got too many more elements that could go wrong today before I go making a promise to an 11-year-old kid that I'll get home and watch his basketball tonight.
Cue the roadworks and the stop sign.
Yeah, roadworks. Roadworks are all part of the game.
In the far northwest, the threat of massive storms and bogged roads has Nick worried about his second-hand engine.
It's done, I think, 10,000 k now, and this is the fifth trip up here now, and hasn't really missed a beat, but the radiator's bloody copping a bit of a hide. We're bound to get a bloody shower or two, I reckon. Pretty much guarantee it. Just as long as they're not in the wrong spot when it does.
The pressure's on from the start.
Wearing a lot.
See what today will bring. Could be a nice day, it could be a complete and utter mongrel of a day. Come on, old girl, give us a nice day.
Nick and Joe have 10 hours of hard slog ahead on a road that gets worse with every kilometre. For the trailers, it's going to be a wild ride.
Yeah, well, that's always looking for some different noises on the trailer. If something's bloody come loose or a noise that's not usually there.
I hate October, November runs, really. You know, it looks amazing outside, and then 2 o'clock this afternoon, these big thunderheads can just build up.
It's the most dangerous time of year, but Joe and Nick are willing to risk it to deliver for the people out here.
I feel very sympathetic because I've lived that life and I know what it's like to need your last lot of stores at the end of the dry, and it's got to see you through till the wet, whether it's your fuel for your generator, your generator itself, whatever, your groceries, your toilet paper that you need for the next 6 months. You know, I understand what it's like to have or not have those things. You can't get yourself to town because the road's cut, and you can't fly it out because you can't just put a generator on a fixed wing plane because yours blows up in January.
Look how bloody quick them clouds are gathering. And you can feel it in the air outside, it's bloody muggy, yeah, it's making the old truck work hard. Bring it on, let's go and play in the mud.
Well, no, mate, that big bog hole, just before you get to it, go for a walk, we put a detour around it yesterday.
Yeah, I'll just bloody dodge the weather, I think. It looks like bloody rain. But it's been building up for the last couple of days. It's just too hot not to rain.
Thunderheads are building up. It's pissing down rain up here ahead somewhere. The closer we get to the coast with the humidity and we get into this hilly country up here in the black soil, then it's changing by the hour now.
18, 19, 20, 21.
On a farm in Victoria, Craig and son Dakota have a maths problem to solve.
13, because that's a bit wider.
Before they can set off with hay for drought-ravaged northern Australia.
Yeah, see, they'll take it to 4-4. I can't use them.
When all the donated bales are stacked on the trailers, the load is too high.
The top bales make you go over 4-3.
And illegal.
At the end of the day, if you can't do it, you can't do it. Authorities say where you can go.
But every bale of this stock food is precious.
Mate.
Craig doesn't want to leave any behind. He has to come up with a clever solution.
I just worked out that these older bales that have been on the ground have actually squashed enough. I'll be able to get 4.3. Now I just got to get the right mix of bales on and we'll have no issues. So if I'm dead on 4.3, job's done. We can go wherever we want, however we want, nice and easy.
Dad and son are way behind schedule. Now it's a race to get the stacking finished.
All right, it's going to be a game of just picking them and choosing them to get it right. Lift it up, mate.
You mongrel.
I just got that started for you, Dad.
I'd be lost without you, wouldn't I, huh? We're a bit behind. We're about 3/4 of a day, which is not great, but it is what it is. We'll be able to catch it up along the way, hopefully. Don't go too high.
At the weighbridge, it's Dakota doing the maths, and he's not afraid to let the boss know he's messed up.
Didn't get it. You went way too fast.
Oh, did I? All right, I'll back up. When he goes hard, I'd give you the tip. There's not much that he can't do. Do you want me to take over now?
No.
All right, let's get this trailer up to the border.
Finally, they're on their way.
3, 2, 1.
A breath of fresh air, but it doesn't last long.
That dog needs to get outside.
That dog stinks. She needs
to be outside in a hurry.
They've been on the road for 2 days and still have 2,000 kilometres to go.
Go put a fire in this truck's belly and get moving, eh?
From here, they need a smooth run.
Who's going? One of those fittings must have come off the trailer, I reckon, Dakota. We'll go and have a quick look.
This thing is out of air.
Can hear air escaping in underneath the bonnet here. I don't know what's going on. I can't believe this.
If anything's going to go wrong, it's going to go wrong in the first hour.
With a clean bill of health, Yogi and PJ are on their way to pick up farm equipment.
My main focus is get it loaded, get unloaded, and then get home.
It's going to be tight. He needs to deliver it in 6 hours.
The machine might not be ready as well. They said it was ready yesterday afternoon, so it might not be ready this morning. So that'll hold us up.
Then make it home in time to watch his son play basketball.
Disappointment on the kid's eyes when you can't make something it's unbearable. It's gut-wrenching. It tears you in half as a parent.
The last thing he needs are any delays.
Oh, now you ring me back, Michael. Yeah, Michael, how are you, mates? Righto, okay, righto, all right.
The load he's picking up isn't ready.
It was supposed to be ready yesterday afternoon. It's ready at 10 o'clock this morning. We've just lost an hour. So that could be the hour of actually getting to the basketball game this afternoon. We're up, right? And now we're down. We're coming on the down now, so I'm a little bit nervous.
10 o'clock. At the pickup point. But there's no sign of the load.
Half an hour would be nice to be loaded. Be nice. Now we'll go and set the trailer up. So we'll just get everything set up. Everything I can do, they know I'm here. Everything I can do to get ready. Chains out, ready, rubber's right, dogs, chains. So when it comes, flags are out. All I do is back it on, chain it on, about 5 minutes, 10 minutes, ramps up into it. So the more I can do now, the better off we're going to be. I can't do anything else. I'm set up. I'm waiting. This is my waiting face. So time's slipping away a little bit.
Yogi getting to see Jack play basketball is looking further away by the minute.
Some things in life I can't change. Sitting and waiting I can't change. There's no point stressing over it because it's beyond my control. So yeah, it's just an idle time. Just a 5-minute idle time. It's been going for 15 minutes.
Starting to get wet.
In the far northwest, Nick and Joe are watching the road deteriorate in front of them.
You just feel the truck just sucking down in the surface of the road, just pulling.
A storm's been through.
You start to wonder what the rest of the road will be like further up.
And the sky up ahead is ominous.
driving straight into it now.
It's getting blacker and blacker every kilometre we get nearer and nearer to it, and the breeze is picking up and the temperature's dropping. You can just feel it's a big storm.
Oh, smell that rain. Yes, very wet now. And it's a big cloud of water. Very big cloud of water.
Warnings about the track have been coming thick and fast.
How you going, Ellie?
Probably a lot further than you're going to go.
No, don't say that.
It's like a massive tropical storm bearing down on us. Those cockatoos up there look so white against the black sky.
Gonna get wet here. No, it gets bloody slippery along here too, just slippery clay crap.
It's getting blacker and blacker, so right in the middle of it.
Come on, only got to go a kilometre or two. Come on, old girl, you haven't got far to go. Mark it down there. Bloody slippery, I don't want to slip down into there. Oh, it's slippery. Real slippery. Point of no return now.
Yeah, I reckon.
Come on, just got to get up that little tiny hole. Come on, old girl, pull.
Up ahead, a slight rise.
Get out of this bit, I don't want to be rain sitting in here.
But with 70 tonnes of truck in these conditions, any gradient is going to be a massive challenge.
Just got to get up that little rise.
I don't know what's going on. I can't believe this.
For the second time in 2 days, Craig and 9-year-old son Dakota are stuck with a broken truck.
Something's gone wrong on the compressor. Don't know what it is. Pressure relief valve. Just have a look. It might have something, a little bit of shit in it maybe. Hopefully that's all it is. I don't know. It might just be that it's jammed up somehow. Pull it apart, give it a clean up, away it'll go. Hopefully that's all the problem is. It's not a biggie, it's just time, yet again.
Can you fix it?
Sometimes you can't. There'll be a gap there. I need you to put that screwdriver down in that gap, yeah? Don't stab me. No, we're gonna have to walk it.
And just when Craig thought it couldn't get any worse...
You're shitting me.
What? What just happened? Your knee?
Yep. I injured my knee a few months back. I was strapping down a load and slipped down and just got my knee twisted up, and I've torn my medial ligament. Don't pull me, don't pull me. Just every once in a while you just get in the wrong spot like I did then, getting up. Gives you an instant pain. Just grabs you, it's just what happens, eh?
A dodgy knee and a sick truck. But Dakota's on the case.
Down in there. Well done. Second crack at it and it just pops straight away. The boy gets onto it, flips it and it's done. That's how it goes sometimes, you just got to take a breath. Let's just whack him back on and check him. Hopefully that was the issue.
Craig's back in business. In a bid to claw back time, he's looking for the fastest possible route.
This next little stretch is a bit of rough gravel from what I can understand. Never been on the road before. It's a little bit of a risk, I suppose, in one fashion, but it's going to pick us up a hell of a lot of time by taking this, and we're already down a day. We need to try and get it from somewhere.
A single-lane gravel road could be the answer, but what state it's in is unknown.
Been a bit of wet up here over the winter, so it could be pretty rutted out or not cleaned out. We just hope that the upkeep's been put onto it, otherwise we're going to find ourselves in a fair old mess.
It's just another job for the day.
In a farm machinery yard near Perth, Yogi's still waiting.
It would be nice to be loaded, so we're just cutting it fine till this afternoon's adventure.
cheering the young bloke on in his basketball game.
The tractor bin he's here to load has failed to show.
It's a 22-tonne chaser bin, so I reckon it's just out getting finished off out the back, and I'll bring it around the front.
While he's anxious to get going.
There's no point stressing over it, but we just got to keep pushing, be ready, make it happen.
Suddenly, a worrying thought.
Yeah, I'm hoping it doesn't need a pilot. I hadn't thought about that. No one said, but I didn't think either.
If the bin's more than 3.5 metres wide, he'll need an escort.
Well, 3.51 is a pilot, yeah. The big 37-tonners and that, they're 3.8, you know, they're 4 metres wide, so that 30-tonner is 3.8.
A pilot means more delays.
Yeah, we'd have to call someone, but it's got to wait for a pilot, yeah, which is that wrecks our day, yeah. When it turns up, if it looks a bit ugly, we'll have a bit of a look. They generally say if we do need a pilot, but this is a bit of a rushed one, so.
Yogi can't relax until he gets an answer to the big question.
How we go, mate?
Yeah, they'll be about 20 minutes, so if you want to start setting up.
Righto. How wide? How are the wheels?
3.5.
3.5 out the wheels? Yep, righto, okay.
A close call, but finally he can load up and get out of here.
Just hold it there, mate. Righto. Definitely fair to say that I've lost my buffer zone.
Yogi's desperate to get to his son's basketball, but he can't afford to speed and risk another fine. But there's some good news about the $60,000 penalty for his alleged logbook violation.
The fine got dramatically reduced. I don't know why. At the moment, it's $220.
But Yogi's still in a fighting mood.
I've got a full book of points. I'm very, very proud of my driving record. We will fight this until we can't fight it anymore. Ah, you're guilty. Thanks, mate.
The drop-off goes well. Now to see if he can make Jack's basketball game.
We're definitely not counting our chickens. They're not hatching yet. They're still rolling around in the incubator. We are empty. We are heading home. There's no greater feeling than being empty and heading home. Rightio. Let's go and watch basketball. How are you? This evening I feel really good because I'm home. Here we go. On Jack, big jump. Whoa. On Jack. Well done. Yeah! We made it home for basketball. You give up all the work in the world to see your kids shoot goals and have fun at a basketball court.
Heading north to drought-stricken farmers, Craig believes he's on the straight and narrow.
It's all been tidied up. Great, this is what we wanted. Smooth, beautiful. Luck has changed. Our luck's changed.
Back on the blacktop, he's making good time. But it's not all blue skies up ahead.
Looking up ahead, it seems to be that we're running into a bit of rain. We've got a little bit on the screen and the clouds are looking pretty dark out there. It's not far enough north to help our people, but it may be a pain in the arse for us. We'll have to see what happens.
Rain could ruin his load of donated hay.
If we get too much water on the hay, it absorbs it up. It will rot. It can turn poisonous to the animals because it gets the mildew on the inside of it. Look, it'd have to be really, really bad rain to destroy it or do any damage to it, but you just never know.
An overnight pit stop.
Feeling better, all cleaned up.
And they've dodged the rain. Burke is the halfway point on their epic journey. But it's a milestone they should have hit a day ago. A phone call from Mary at Janeville Station.
Hey Mary, how you going?
And Craig's forced to break the bad news.
We've had a couple of things go wrong along the way, Mary, but when I first started off, I had a flat battery and we got tangled up in some pretty bad traffic down in Melbourne and rah-rah. So it's just been a bit of a nightmare going along, but I'm in Burke now. So I'm down in Perth.
You're still a long way, eh, Craig? I don't know what that is. It could be about halfway. Is it Perth or what?
Yeah, but it's a little bit over. Just, but yeah, halfway. Yeah, halfway. Mary is very anxious for our arrival. I think she's, as I say, she's one of the ones that have been worst struck by this whole thing, and she ran out of feed a couple of days back, and I haven't seen it yet, but apparently it's barer than this car park.
Every day Craig's not there is a day Mary's cattle won't eat.
So her cattle are doing it really, really hard, and they just don't have the coin to go out and splash on hay. It costs an arm and a leg to get it up there, so they're just waiting for this. This is really important to her, so telephone conversations with Mary are enlightening.
Nick and Joe are battling a violent tropical storm, dumping nearly 15 millimetres of rain in an hour. It's impossible to keep going.
There's a bloody creek just down there, we won't get up the other side, it'll be washed out after this rain, I reckon. This is where we're going to pull up for a while, probably till tomorrow morning, I'd say.
We did a very good job getting through that. And look, blue sky. Pull up here for a few hours, probably all night, see how it looks in the morning, maybe it's dried out.
Next morning, clear skies. But that's not fooling Nick.
I think we're going to be in a little bit of drama today, I reckon.
He knows this road too well.
It might be a very long, slow day.
Up ahead, the mother of all bog holes.
At least 1 or 2 road trains have been stuck in it.
And luckily got dry ground, but only just got through it. Just got out the other side.
Heavy going though, isn't it?
But it's worse.
Looks like they've had a shitload of rain through here.
Much worse. As this driver found out.
Okay, I might just pull up here. Might be the easiest.
This is not real flash at all. And this is where the other trucks have been getting bogged, so there's been a sidetrack put round by the other guy with the grader yesterday. And Nick's just walking around this sidetrack just to see if it's hard enough that we can get right around this whole mess here. Hopefully.
It's impossible to get the road train through in one go.
Yeah, I won't get 3 around it anyway. So I'll give one go around there, then I'll come back and get the other ones. That's the plan. The other one, I would love to have just flogged it straight through there. I'm just one of them lucky fellas that my wife comes along with me to give me a hand. Because I don't think most of the truck drivers' wives don't go along and give me a hand.
Minus 2 trailers, they set off on the 500-metre diversion. Not fit for a car, let alone a 30-tonne truck.
It is a touch and go because that sidetrack's only been just pushed in. And I don't know, it's pretty soft around there.
I lean a lot on Nick, you know, and trust his judgment. A lot weighs on his shoulders, unfortunately, but it's a bit of a risk.
The wheels are spinning. The speed, barely walking pace. But they're through. Now for the big test. Nick's decided to double down on his luck and try to pull the remaining trailers through in one go. 50 tonnes of trucking trouble. Get stuck, and they could be here for months. On a remote Pacific island, Mark Cromwell is going where no Outback trucker
The front wheel's off the ground, I got no, whoa!
has gone before.
Stop. You're just picking your steers up.
They're just doing a mono.
We're in a big world of trouble now.
Mark and his team are 1 week into the most difficult trucking mission of their careers.
Probably the hardest by far, without doubt, this job.
Moving an $8 million power station weighing 335 tonnes. From Adelaide, 7,000 kilometres across the Pacific Ocean, to Weno, a tiny developing island. Far from home, with no backup, and an endless supply of high-stakes problems.
Well, it's got the wind catching it, and you've got the $4 million yacht just boating there, waiting to get its bow smashed. I know.
Moving the power station just 1 kilometre across the island has overshadowed outback jobs 1,000 times the distance.
Yep, I've got to nail this, otherwise we'll be in straw. Mate, you're just about to come down off the timber.
And right now, the most serious stumbling block of this entire epic mission.
Stop.
Getting grip on the steep driveway into the site.
You got to lower the front first, then lift up with the gooseneck.
Mark's only hope for traction: shift the 57-tonne switch room forward, putting more weight on his drive tyres.
Said no.
No traction, and now no power.
Yeah, well, give me torque to get going, and then the computer overrides.
The truck's computer is detecting dangerous strain, shutting down the engine.
You don't reckon you'll move in sections from here?
Oh, I'll give it a try.
Try go forward, squeak, see what it does.
We just keep doing this till we get up.
He can only go 1 metre before it cuts out. At last, he's up the hill.
It's a bit of a challenge. We've still got to work out how we're going to make the corner and get it onto the pad.
To stand a chance of making the final turn, Mark needs a dry road.
All we're going to do now is just wait for the sun to come out.
Three hours later, the road is dry and Mark is feeling bold.
There's no way of doing this without getting that runner.
To make it around the corner, he needs to hit the hill at speed. He hopes the momentum will carry him through the turn.
Whose horn's that? Huh? Is that him? I don't know.
The honking isn't coming from the held-up traffic.
Nah, it's the horn on this.
You're kidding me.
What's that doing?
Stuck on.
You pig. That's better?
That is bizarre.
Yeah. We're good to go backwards whenever you're ready.
Get me out of here.
Stop.
With pressure mounting from all sides, this run-up needs to work. At his property in Katanning, Western Australia, Yogi is combining his two great loves in life.
Like, do you hear that bop, 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 bop noise? That means that's working well.
Being a trucker and a dad. For 20 long years, he's driven the long roads. Now, with his kids getting older, he's trying to work closer to home.
Jack's going into a different stage of his life. He's 11 in a couple of weeks. So, better be around a little bit more, you know? Like, it's hard to find that time that just chill out with the kids.
They accept the fact that Dad goes away and things like that. They obviously find it tough at times. You know, they definitely miss him, you know, for sure.
So it's a balancing act. It's a massive balancing act that we struggle with.
This week, Yogi's balancing 2 loads in 3 days, all within striking distance from home.
We've got a lot of different elements in this week that are going to make it a little bit complex, but I hope it runs all smoothly.
From Katanning, his first run is a round trip to a farm in Karoo, backed up with an urgent delivery from Cunderdin to Wagen.
I just hope nothing holds me up at the start of the week. If I get held up at the start of the week, we're in a world of pain. Thursday morning, I've got 1 load that has got to happen. It can't not happen because it's going to a farming show. If it doesn't get in there by Thursday afternoon, we've got an unhappy customer.
But a long list of obstacles risk hitting his schedule hard.
Trees, cars, livestock, horrible roads. I've got to balance them all into the mix. Come out at the end of the week and hopefully we'll make $1.
3 a.m. Yogi and his cherished truck PJ have a big day ahead. After warming up, they've got over 1,000 kilometres to travel to stay on schedule.
Racing harness on them, we're into it.
One mistake and 3 days of work could topple like dominoes. Central Australia. A road building crew are putting the finishing touches to a stretch of Outback track.
We set up camp in September last year, so yeah, 6 months it's been here now, just doing 10 k's of road construction.
The Black Cat contractors have finished the job and are moving on.
It's 85 kilometres to the next job site, which is a little community of Arayonga. There we're extending an airstrip for the Royal Flying Doctor Service.
Building roads, or in this case, airstrips, is a massive undertaking, requiring a mountain of gear. And when you're in the middle of nowhere, the only way to do it is bring everything with you.
It is a portable town, yeah, it's virtually got everything ready to go. 30 people can stay here for as long as they like.
Which makes the task of moving it all almost as big as the task itself.
When the job's finished, we just pick the whole camp up, put it on the back of the trucks and send it down the road.
8 accommodation units, a toilet block, a camp kitchen and mess, generators and machinery. It's up to remote trucking specialist Brad Duckworth to shift it all.
Big house move, yeah. Fortunately, we don't have to pack all the furniture into the boxes, it's already done.
From Hermannsburg, Brad faces a gruelling 5 return runs over 90 kilometres of dirt to shift the camp to Arayonga. Making the job tougher, Brad's route is in bad shape, and with every pass of his road train, it'll deteriorate more.
Fall into the trap of just cruising along thinking, nah, we're right, and then all of a sudden it's all wrong.
Brad's got 6 days to pack up the camp, drive the 900 kilometres total distance and unload it all. There's no time to waste.
Doesn't fit.
The forks on the loader are too big. Brad's got 10 buildings he needs to move. And now, no way of picking them up.
If we jam it in there, we won't be able to get it back off, so we'll just have to work on another plan.
At the minute I'm doing 1K, I need the geese to get up to 5.
On the tiny Pacific island of Weno, Mark and Matt have blocked the main road.
Another metre. Right, mate, that'll do you. Stop.
They need to get up this steep hill at speed with 57 tonnes on board.
Righto, boys, up we go.
Fail now, and few options remain.
High five. Momentum gets you home.
Yeah, it was one of those things that you're either going to make it or break it, so we made it.
But the bad weather is back.
Next step is to try and get this trailer out from underneath the building, which seems like a simple task.
On such a small and now wet site.
Yeah, keep going, man.
Positioning 18 metres of switch room is a king-size wrestle in the mud.
Nearly on the gravel here.
Point of no return now. So you're happy to leave the trailer there?
Yeah, it's good there.
Have a look at me friends. Living the dream.
And the dirty jobs aren't done yet.
We are going to slowly bring this across. It'll take some time.
With no cranes on the island, the only way to position the 57-ton building is with a purpose-built skating system, a series of pulleys, and a lot of sweat. Until...
we just pulled the thing out the ground. Right. Now we need to come up with another solution. So what's happening? The skates are coming along and binding up.
With so much weight on them, the skates are buckling, jamming the rollers.
Yeah, you can see we're bound up.
Yeah.
The power station won't function until all its parts are in their exact position.
Rome was not built in a day. Neither was the switch room.
Near enough is far from good enough. In Western Australia, Yogi's nearing his first pickup.
Fingers crossed we're loaded by 12:30.
He needs a quick turnaround to make his tight schedule.
There's my tractor there. How are you, bud?
It's a sprint to get the tractor loaded. Yogi's still got 520 kilometres ahead of him to make his delivery in Katanning and get back home to the family.
Good result.
Rattle.
For the rushed return journey, Yogi's facing a dilemma.
Do I go straight through Perth and chance getting caught in the oversized curfew? Or do we go around Perth, which is a lot slower and a lot harder on the gear? So I'm in two minds. I really don't know what to do at the moment. So.
And there's more at stake than just this load.
The knock-on effect, if we get held up at the start of the week, makes me late for the rest of the week.
But after making good time, he's feeling confident.
I think we'll go through Perth.
On the outskirts of the city, Yogi's got 40 minutes to drive 30 Ks.
I want to have a couple of nice little light changes go my way. Of course we're going to stop in traffic.
Not the start he was hoping for.
We're into it now. Right, come on, come on, come on. Oh, it's stopping.
If Yogi doesn't make it through the city by 4:30, he'll have to pull over for the night.
Yeah, let's go. I've had a bad run through here.
Just 23 minutes left to clear 20 kilometres of heavy city traffic.
Everything chews up your time.
This could be the first domino to fall in his tightly scheduled week. In Central Australia, Brad Duckworth's monster camp move is failing to take off.
If we jam it in there, we won't be able to get it back off.
The forks on the loader, essential for lifting 10 mobile buildings, don't fit. Brad needs a plan.
I'll have to drop the forks off and hook some chains on and try and lift it up with one end of the forks and back underneath it.
He's going to drag, then lift the building using chains. First up, lose the forks.
Just trying to find out which switch unhooks the forks.
Easier said than done.
Quick coupler. Here's that one. We got him.
Next, a 7-ton rated chain tied from the loader to the building. It's an ingenious but time-consuming solution.
Yeah, I was hoping that it would go a little bit smoother than this. It's going to make a fairly big week out of it. Righto, steady as she goes.
While the first building's on, Brad gets some bad news.
So we just received word that we haven't received the permits yet. So every piece of equipment we have to move out there, we need a permit for to put it on the Aboriginal land.
No permits means no go. Thankfully, the one permit he does have is for the building he's just loaded.
Yeah, that's it for now. We'll just sort of have to wait and see, wait for the permits to come through.
And the complications don't end there. The trailer for the loader doesn't have the right coupling to be towed behind Brad's other trailers. Before he can unload, he'll have to come back and collect his loader separately.
We have to ferry it backwards and forwards in between each run. Righto, let's go check out what this road's like. From here we've got about 85 k's. I think there's 30 k's of bitumen and then the road will get pretty rough from there.
28 years of hard trucking have taught Brad to respect what lies ahead.
You can sort of drive for 300 or 400 kilometres and hardly see a person or another car or even a house for that matter. There's not too many people that can just slip out and give us a hand if we do get stuck anywhere.
And now, his first test.
Oh, looks like we're coming to the end of the bitumen seal here, so we'll be starting into the roadworks on the dirt. It looks pretty sandy too, so we'll have to watch our traction. They drop us down off the side of the new road, so nobody does any underlying damage before they get the seal down on it. It's fairly soft going here. See how we go around through here.
His revs are dropping. His truck's losing speed.
Losing traction.
In remote Micronesia, Mark Cromwell has big problems hanging over his head.
This is so frustrating.
The 57-ton switch room is stuck. A customised skating system has seized up.
Decent bed. What we'll do is we'll cut these stupid things in half. We just go straight down the middle.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll let them go...
Individual?
Individual, and we'll take the bind out.
Yeah, it will. Probably how they meant to be anyway.
Mark hopes that cutting the skates in half will stop them buckling, taking pressure off the cables and pulleys. Time to test out Mark's theory.
We tried it their way, now we'll try it our way.
Righto, let's go. going a lot easier.
Success.
The monster switch room is in place, but still at the port, two even heavier loads, the 65-ton generators.
Show starts tomorrow again, nice and early in the dark.
Early next morning, the team face more torrential rain.
Getting harder by the day.
We've had rain here for the last, I reckon, 4 or 5 days, which will make for fun times getting up this hill once again.
A wet, steep hill and 65 tons on the back. Things aren't getting any better for Mark.
It's very heavy, so don't like the chances.
Well, I've had a bad run through here.
Yogi's got 20 minutes to make it through Perth traffic before an oversized curfew kicks him off the road.
Rightio, we're not that far away. I can just about see the edge, but we're still in curfew. We're still close to running out of time. I couldn't win a trick, could I? Like, I've got to go left. But now we've got to stop.
Every red light sees minutes ticking away, pushing Yogi closer to the 4:30 deadline.
Righto. Let's climb this hill, and the hill is the end. I've got minutes to spare.
While he's beaten the city curfew, he now faces a country one.
I've got 2.5 hours to get home, so we're chasing the daylight.
Oversized loads can't drive on country roads after sunset. And only 60 kilometres from Katanning, Yogi's run out of sun.
It doesn't look like I'm getting home. Sun run out of daylight.
He's forced to pull over, just 40 minutes from home and his family.
Hey, shit, eh?
It's an early start the next day to keep his schedule on track. He's finally made the last 60 Ks to a farm near Katanning, where his customers are waiting for the tractor.
No, nothing at all, yeah.
A trickle charger might give the battery the jolt it needs.
Yeah, that was a better click, but it's not. It's obviously trickling in there. Nah, she might need just that little bit of a jump.
Time for more power.
Come on, big girl.
Yogi desperately needs to get this tractor off his trailer. His next pickup is 300 kilometres away.
And it's got to be in by 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. So we don't have any leeway.
He's powerless and running critically low on time and ideas.
Losing traction.
In the red centre, Brad's battling a detour through soft sand.
Yeah, I just put the diff locks in to give us a bit more traction. Yep, just dragging through here.
Clear of the soft sand, but not clear of trouble.
Yeah, we're just coming out of the roadworks. It's, yeah, now the corrugation will kick off here and start to get worse as we go.
To move an entire workers' camp, Brad needs to tackle this stretch 10 times, damaging the road more with each pass.
Yeah, it's starting to chop up a bit through here.
After 90 kilometres, Brad has finally made it to the airstrip at Arayonga, the site for the new camp.
I just unhook the trailers and drop them here. It'll be the best spot to leave them for tonight till I get back in the morning with this loader.
Before he can unload the building, Brad needs his loader. That means a return trip across the bumps. Again. Next morning, Brad's collected his loader and is heading back to the airstrip. As predicted, the road has deteriorated.
Starting to get a bit torn out on the edges of the road here with all the traffic running off the sides here.
With a lighter load, Brad powers through the rough sections. But as he closes in on the new campsite, an old worry is weighing on his mind.
Hopefully the Land Council permits and all come through shortly so we can get a bit of a crack on with it.
Without the permits, Brad can't move any more gear. And now, more dramas.
Run a bit tight to that other trailer there. I'll just have to get out and check it. Hit I bent it all. The whole thing. Scratched me trailer.
It's a big hill just to walk up.
Back on Weno Island, Matt and Mark are being tested by a steep, wet hill.
We'll go straight up the hill first time.
Mark's learnt the hard way. To make it up, he needs to gun it.
Nice.
The last part of this move can only be done in the light of day.
I can't turn the corner. It's too hard at night time. You can't see anything, any of my marks on the road, and it takes too much coordination. I don't have coordination at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Four hours later. And the hard lessons of yesterday are paying off today.
Yeah, we'll put the hitch on it.
Steady, steady. Oh, stop. There, keep going. Yeah, are we right?
Gotta go together.
Right. Yeah.
We're on the downhill run, boys. Is this where I get the whip?
One more monster load delivered.
Do we want to just jack it up quick?
But there's no relaxing yet. Mark's schedule has now blown out by 2 days. And still at the wharf, another 8 pieces of freight, including the second massive generator.
We're going to get this loaded before they shut at the wharf. Otherwise, we lose the opportunity. And then we're like 3 days behind and...
The problem is today, tractor won't start.
In the middle of a hectic week, a flat battery is taking the spark out of Yogi's day.
Oh, no. I reckon the batteries are shot.
Delaying his next delivery.
It's definitely held us up. Or the other thing, we go to plan B is push it.
Should just roll. Once you get it to there, it'll roll down.
Try and put some more air in that.
The only way to roll the tractor is to release its brakes by filling them with air.
Yeah, I'm good.
8 tons to push, but Yogi's sitting pretty.
I'm not doing a lot here. We're going good. It's about to go over the beaver tail, I reckon.
Righto.
All right. Let it go. We have a result. We got the tractor off and we can go to plan Z.
After this delay, Yogi's plan can go only one way. More work in less time.
We didn't have a good run today, so therefore I've finished for the day. I'm finished in Katanning. So the bonus is I'm home. The negatives, I've got to get up at 3 o'clock tomorrow morning. But that's all right.
Another big day breaks for Yogi, with another big load on the cards.
It's oversized, it's 3.8 metres wide, so we need Amanda. Got the lovely wife and chief pilot on the job today, so I'm in safe hands when I'm with Amanda.
Which is just as well. The slightest damage could have major consequences.
This particular item is a full-on showpiece, so it's brand new, it's going on display, it needs to turn up in pristine condition.
That's a lot of pressure for a Yogi to bear.
No scratches, no dents, no nothing wrong with it.
This seed and fertiliser bin
Rightio.
is worth $140,000.
Yeah, come right up, come right up. Yep. If you can go straight onto that, Mick, we got it, eh? Righto.
Next, the town of Wagen and the biggest agricultural show in country Western Australia.
Woolarama is on tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, so it's got to be in today. There is no if, buts or whats. They shut the arena tonight.
And with this oversized load, Yogi and Amanda have to be off the road before dark. That gives them just 3 hours to drive 230 difficult kilometres.
It's pretty low trees, you know, it's a constant changing surface. First 100 Ks is the hardest 100 Ks on this job.
And it's about to get even harder.
Got some roadworks up here.
Yep, thank you, thank you. That little element we've got to deal with, you know.
Just got 3.8 coming through, mate.
Yeah, can you pull up there and I'll get out of his way?
Yep, no worries.
Recent heavy rains have damaged this road.
Yeah, oversized if you keep as far left as you possibly can without going over the right-hand edge, you're pretty soft.
Yeah, no worries, bud. Thank you. Don't really like hearing that.
If these soft shoulders give way, his whole load could go over.
This will be a little bit tight, I reckon. I reckon right where old mate is a nice soft spot, so yeah.
Oh, it goes from good to better.
2,000 kilometres northeast. Brad's unlucky run has dished up some damage.
Oh, just taking all the paint off the side of the trailer. I've never put a scratch on this truck in 2.5 years.
A moment's inattention.
That's not good at all. The bosses won't be happy.
And Brad has collided with the parked trailer.
Yeah, it was pretty tight coming round there, yeah. I just took my eyes off for a second watching the other side, and here's what it is now. I'll have to unravel it all and get back around out of the road.
The worst of the damage is this bent mudguard, pressing into the tyre.
Pull that back away from that wheel, so at least we've got a bit of clearance here. I don't know if it'll straighten right up. Eyes off the ball for 1 minute and look what happens.
One problem fixed.
Yeah, it's better, eh?
Now Brad needs to check he has clearance to move the rest of the camp.
Yeah, well, what's the go? These, any sign of these permits come through yet, or? No, still nothing, eh?
It's the killer blow to a jinxed job.
There's no point me loading anything else up at this point then. We'll just have to lay idle and see how we go.
Without the permits, the community of Arayonga will have to keep waiting for their new airstrip. For Brad, it's just part of being an Outback trucker. He's been moved onto another job, 900 kilometres away.
I feel like I'm moving out.
With his current run of luck, he's not taking any chances.
Better take most of his stuff though. Something happens or a breakdown out there.
Jobs.
4 a.m, Micronesia. After a week of early starts, Mark and his team are feeling the strain.
Oh, gosh.
Today, they need to clear the dock of all the remaining freight. First up, 22 tonnes of cooling stacks.
Are you going straight up the hill or what's your plan here? Straight in.
With a dry road and lighter load. For once, it's a straightforward hill climb.
We're in here, parked up. It's only 4:45.
As daylight breaks, it's more back and forth to the port. With only one truck and trailer, it's a painstaking business.
Steady, steady, steady.
By the end of day, 6 shipping containers filled with essential parts have also been shifted. Just one load remains. The last massive generator.
That's it, last one. Last 3 o'clocker.
After a shaky start. A near miss with a power line. It's a smooth run to the base of the dreaded hill.
Radio.
65 tonnes are on his back. Mark knows what he has to do. Floor it.
Steady, steady. And stop, stop, stop.
Nah, must just be a bit greasy. Jesus.
I reckon right where old mate is a nice soft spot.
Yogi and Amanda are nursing a showroom condition machine through rain-soaked roadworks.
So we'll just find a nice little edge here and try not to sink it into the dirt, so yeah.
If the truck starts to sink, the trailer and its top-heavy load could tip. Safely on solid ground.
We're working hard today.
It's been a tough 12 hours, but finally, Yogi's on the home straight.
We are here at Wagen Wallarama.
All that remains is a nerve-wracking inspection by the owner.
So if you're happy, I'm happy.
Yeah, no, that's good, mate.
Another satisfied customer.
Yeah, good job.
Up. Steady.
And one less ball in the juggling act of Yogi's life.
Well, Amanda's going to bolt.
Hey,
Go
pick
get
some kids up.
Go pick up the kids. Doesn't stop.
So you're cooking me dinner.
On the job from hell.
Keep coming.
Mark's big moment has arrived. His last hill climb.
This is it, the final run up.
With 65 tonnes on the back.
It's been a very long week or so. I've lost track of the day, how long I've been here. I'm going for it. Got some air.
Mark and his team have conquered a mountain.
Right, yeah, that'll do, Squeak. Thank you very much. Very good job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Mr. Trailerman.
Good job, driver.
After crossing an ocean.
Go down, down, down.
And a treacherous island.
Gonna get close here too.
They've brought power to the Pacific. They are the kings of the hill.
I had a man come up to me and shake my hand thinking that I was doing the power station, which is quite funny. I'm saying, no, just the truck driver, I just brought it here.